What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, what affected it today, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid did close 6.69% in the green. Absolute craziness today. So I want to break it down what really caused it to go higher. But 267 the low, 288 the high. So starting off, you did have CPI. That's kind of what caused this pullback right here pre-market. And for face value, if you look at this data right here, it was negative, both on a month over month and year over year basis. But cooler heads did prevail because a lot of people started to look at this data right here. And so essentially, if you look at the true data behind the scenes, it does show energy did go up 1.1%, meaning the other basket items did go down. So you had that really boosting the broader market. Trump did state that he's going to be trying to rectify the whole scenario between Russia and also Ukraine. Both want peace, so that should be mitigated in the next little bit possibly. And then better yet though, one thing that really helped Lucid was this right here. So new price target. So new analyst rating, I guess I should say it, but ultimately you do see right here a $5 rating, initiated coverage. Benchmark Michael, who has a 44% success rating, so not all that great, but still $5 given where we're at right now is a lot more upside. And we haven't seen this level of optimism where it's signaling close to a double from this price point. We haven't seen that since like the $20 range back in like 2022. So definitely pretty good stuff for that. So I think all of that combined did really move Lucid higher. At the same time, you are seeing a lot of articles coming out, all kind of saying the exact same thing. Just the fact that there is just more focus on licensing. So I think just Lucid is kind of low-key trying to pivot within their business to really focus on licensing, not necessarily ramping up. So I think in general, maybe that's writing, if we can read between the lines, maybe ramping up on the Gravity and demand isn't necessarily there. This is why we're seeing a lot of talk about licensing. And if we kind of pop over here, so I did a full video all about this because I was kind of excited about seeing some of the questions and whatever, but a lot of these questions are on point. So the quality, people didn't ask any pointless questions. It's all about even looking at the topics: revenue, partnerships, Gravity. That is it. It would be nice to see some like ESS type of questions, but still, honestly, if they just solely ask these questions, that's perfect. So I'm pretty sure Peter's going to be shitting himself once he sees these questions and how he'll have to, you can't ignore them. I know in the past we've seen when they get to question like 4 or 5, they kind of skip over one when they don't really want to ask it. I know I think 2 earnings ago, they actually did skip over that question. When is like Lucid going to be in the UK? I was kind of annoyed by that, but you cannot ignore the top questions. Like, that is it. So this is amazing stuff. Very excited about that. So we'll be able to find out what they state. So the earnings is on the 25th on the side note. But yeah, pretty good stuff overall for Lucid today. You did have shorts really doubling down. So I think they were piggybacking off of, just for face value, this information, CPI. And so I think they did increase, the market started to recover, and they just kept doubling down, which was kind of crazy. So shorts did increase 2.95 million shares today. 20.83% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 248.12 million shares overall are being shorted. So pretty good day. So this might be one of those pivots where if Lucid does start to build enough momentum, both on a technical standpoint leading into the earnings, might really screw over shorts. So let me know your viewpoint on that in the comments below. Looking at options, you had 1.21 million in calls, 219,000 in puts. 49% of all the options being done today were optimistic in nature, and a nice increase. So last couple, actually looks like, was it 5 trading days, we've had less than 1 million in total premiums for the options. So it's good to see at least kind of more attention coming to it, and even more specifically looking at this column right here. So the put/call ratio definitely is looking very, very optimistic. Of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around 3, and now you're starting to see more weekly options plays. So you're seeing a consensus for it to be above 350 for the week of their earnings. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly $3 for that same week. So optimism is kind of starting to surge with Lucid. So let me know your thoughts. These are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. Definitely night and day difference from the last couple trading days, which were rather dismal, if you want to call it like that. But even if you kind of look at the bid, the ask, and the selling price, all of these, with the exception of 2 of them, are buys, and they're pretty big ones as well. So 2.87 million, 1.6, 8.15. So definitely big money was getting in. And dark pool transactions, I'll give you a quick overview of that. So that's SoundHound, you don't want to see that. So this is Lucid. Dark pool has been very, very popular lately, and so yeah, a lot of big transactions. Look at this. So 14.4, 14 multiple different ones, and then 2.89. So big money is also trading it behind the scenes, and for someone to drop this amount of money, that it's definitely, I would assume, a insider, possibly maybe the PIF or someone else. I don't know. Some big money is definitely doing something with Lucid behind the scenes through the dark pool. But moving over here with it at 287, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 283 is that strong support. They'll really want to watch for that to hold into the next couple trading days. Side note, tomorrow is PPI. Powell even did state today that they're going to be looking at PPI very closely because it's more of a precursor to PCE. And so yeah, that should be a fun day tomorrow. But 299 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. So like I said, just watch for that 283. Aside from that analyst rating, which is very good stuff, you have just the technicals. So a couple of things to take note of. So 278 is going to be that 50-day moving average. So Lucid's kind of nice recovery today was able to fight above that, get above the, looks like 100-day moving average, ALMA, and back above that 50-day moving average. So today was very, very well timed about the analyst rating. Normally 9 times out of 10, whenever you I cover a stock or anything, you always have analysts strategically trying to manipulate any stock through ratings down. And what I mean by that is, let's say like Lucid, or even I think more commonly is SoFi. SoFi gets a lot of negative ratings, usually when it's on their 50-day moving average. So most of the time, a lot of those ratings are meant to just suppress it, break it technically. So it's good to see a bullish rating given everything with Lucid. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. What is your viewpoint on these questions? So got to give a shout out to Patrick, Jason, and Paul for the top questions. Paul, I believe his questions have been asked the last 3 earnings, so he's kind of famous for the Lucid community, if that makes sense. But yeah, pretty good stuff overall. So let me know what's your thoughts on the analyst rating, questions, overall, just everything with Lucid. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.